Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. It is me, Will, back once again with I Want to Hug That Gator. For those of you who are new, this is essentially a visual novel about a gator that you want to hug. And that's about it. No other context needs to be given. It's in the title. Anyway, if you all enjoyed today's video, please leave a like and subscribe. And without further ado, we will get straight into the video. Where we left off, we were just chased by, what's her name, Mia? Because we booked it, we threw glitter in her eye. And we hid in the elevator and had a moment with Olivia, who's the gator. And now Mr. Latigan is outside the elevator, everything's fine and everything. I'm fairly certain that Mia was tased, like actually just tased. And we either take the key and open the elevator, which then leads to us having to tell Mr. Latigan that Mia is blackmailing Olivia and that Olivia cheated. If we don't, I don't know what had to happen. But we're taking the key. Alright, let's get this over with. We've gotten this far, time to end it. I've had about enough of all this stress. By the looks of it, so is Olivia. She's been dealing with this so much longer than me, so it's time for me to carry my own weight around here. It's the least I can do to take the final step for her. Even if she doesn't trust Latigan, she trusts me. She doesn't trust Latigan? That doesn't sound right. But it can't be anything else, it's just that. Enough nonsense. I take the key and move it to slide the key panel. I take the key and move to slide the key into the panel. With the key inserted and it twists and twisted, the dark room shudders briefly before metal doors finally begin to slide open. We're greeted with the sight of our teacher, very haggard, his brow slicked with sweat and holding some strange black rod. Mia was fucking tased! Mia was fucking tased! Olivia reels back at the sight of the old odd baton. Thanks for saving us, Mr. Latigan. Don't thank me just yet. I'm gonna need an explanation for all of this. So is Principal Scaler, for that matter. He steps aside and motions us out of the elevator with a wave of his broad stick. Come along now. Get the janitors time to take care of this mess. Holy shit, it looks like Mia tried to destroy everything within her reach in the hallway. On the ceiling, there's pipe leaking water intended for the fountains and toilets. A group of dinos all over the corner looking absolutely pissed. Our teacher waves at them and begins escorting us to his room. All of the adrenaline has faded now, and I can feel the acute pain in my arm. Olivia's hand reaches back behind her head as her head to the arm she had grabbed, and her fingers delicately loop around the spot. She looks back, her mouth shut tight but her sympathetic eyes tell me she's sorry. I nod back with a comforting smile. Sure, it hurt, but I knew she didn't mean it. We look forward again to the door of Latigan's classroom. Olivia sighed and resigned herself to explaining everything to our teacher. Olivia looked ready to collapse. She had taken the better part of an hour explaining Mia's extortion in full detail to Mr. Latigan. I grabbed Olivia's canteen and handed it to her. She greedily chugs the entire thing, gasping after and rubbing her sore throat. It was hard to get a read on what the teacher was thinking. His brow was furrowed, his fingers steepled, and he was muttering to himself. Finally, with a deep sigh, he stands from his desk and looks at the exhausted girl. I had a feeling something was going on, but to this extent, you should have come forward sooner. Oh, whoops. I know, but we're here now, aren't we? Fair point. Still, I'm concerned that you thought nobody would notice. I didn't think anyone would care to look. Those assignments you go through, dozens of eyes, you know. What do you mean? Your style, Olivia. I saw it from a mile away and I was just waiting for you to talk to me. You knew? Why didn't you say anything? I wanted it to come from you. Don't worry, I'm not gonna lecture you. Raptor just knows you've had enough of that already. I'm glad you two are okay. Yeah, I thought she was actually going to kill us. Mr. Latigan shakes his head before he smiles softly at us. Have some faith in the faculty here. We do our best for you. With what we have on Mia now, we can just justify watching her like a hawk from here on. Anybody else she was harassing ought to thank you. Are you sure she's actually going to get in trouble for this? At this point, we'd look bad if we didn't punish Mia for this kind of behavior. That's a relief. Come on, you two can hunker here until the school clears out. You sure? You were gonna stay after. You're going to stay after like always, right? Always, anyways, right? Yeah. Huh? The loud noise makes you stumble to the floor. Mr. Latigan! Whoops. Latigan looks at the device in his hand. It's a taser? There's a piece of tape with something written on it. Estrus Protocol. Anyways, I'm gonna go run and get some things done. They're going to want my account on paper pretty soon. Might as well knock it out of the way. With no care at all, Mr. Latigan chucks the electric weapon onto his desk before turning to the hallway. Don't burn the place down, alright? He just has a fucking taser baton. Alright. Alone, I go to sit to the back of the classroom. Looking out the window, I finally let a huge sigh I've been holding in. Olivia rolls to join me. Surprisingly, she's smiling. You were right, Inko. I could trust him. We sit in silence, just looking out the window. When school's let out, we watch the crowd of students go home. I don't see me in the crowd, but that doesn't matter. I think despite it all, Olivia's life is going to get a bit easier after today. ... While students trickle out of the school, Olivia took the chance to unwind. I figured he'd best let her rest, as her eyes drooping. I saw her eyes drooping. I saw her drooping eyelids finally shut. She looked cute. Just napping idly in her chair. Except for the weird bellowing. It was like a snore, except it vibrated. I could feel it vibrating through the floor. The clouds hiding the sun and the classroom's lights turned off. I could do with some shut-eye too. But I can't bring my eyes closed. Instead, I look out the window. The layer of clouds overhead steadily grows more dense, casting a darker shade on everything. Light raindrops prick against the glass. Crap. I really should have brought my umbrella. As a few minutes go by, they roll closer and closer, blocking the sunlight. If Olivia were awake, she'd think it was pretty neat. I look back to her. Maybe I could nap too. Just a little. What was... Oh. My eyes are drawn upwards to the heavy clouds in the sky. In moments, the glass of the window is assailed by numerous heavy droplets of rain. Holy moly. The trees outside are billowing almost aggressively. Several small branches are stripped away and torn in the torrential downpour. An umbrella wouldn't help this. Huh? What? My phone's blurring an alarm. So's Olivia's. Uh-oh. It's instructions to shelter in place for several hours. The classroom door is thrust open quickly. That's a new face. Mr. Latigan is back, painting hard, clothes drenched. He takes our moment of surprise to compose himself as the best he can. Sorry about that. The faculty is doing a sweep of the campus right now. Apparently there's a monsoon scare right now. Monsoon? Does that happen here? Latigan gestures to his drenched outfit and out the window to see if Mia had clocked me in the head earlier. Right. Are we going to be alright? Oh, of course. Schools are designed shelters for worse disasters. If anything, you're safer here. You're safer here than at home. But the hallway outside is open, isn't it? I just finished putting the cover up. Cover? Just keep close to the wall, yeah? What do we do now? Latigan shakes his phone at us. Shelter in place. We're all stuck here for a few hours. Olivia reaches into her bag and pulls out a drawing book and a well-used pencil. Actually, why don't you use the time to catch up on schoolwork? I'm sure you could use some work from all the other classes still pending. I can't think of a better time than to tackle it than now. But today's been rough. Can't I do this? Can't I do this or finish my nap instead? That's fine too. But aren't you falling behind in some grade-wise in some other classes? Maybe. Fine. I'll catch up on some of that work. Latigan gives a single nod and smiles. Olivia puts away her drawing materials, and instead pulls out her bulky mathematics book, which she sets on the table with more force necessary, followed by her notebook. With some hesitation on her part, Olivia sets herself to work. Meanwhile, I bring myself closer to her in case she wants some help with work. After a few minutes, it's clear her mind and spirit isn't into the work one bit. She constantly fidgets and taps her pen on the table, and looks around the room and out the window. Eventually, she lets out a groan and slams the book shut. This sucks. Can I please do something else? Latigan, who is busy himself with grading some paperwork, snaps up from his work and looks at Olivia rubbing his chin. Well, there is one thing you could help out with. Would need both of your help with it. Could even consider a new extra assignment. What do you say? I don't know. Today's pretty rough on a lit. Absolutely, I'll do it. Alright. Wonderful, it's back here. We're cleaning, aren't we? He starts walking to the back of the room and waves us to follow him. Whoa. Something in the dark room? Oh man, I thought we wouldn't get anything to do in there until the last few weeks of the semester. Are we going to get to learning a head start in this section? Maybe we'll be making prints or learning about C41 and... Huh? Oh, Olivia's poking my back. Quit it with this cinematic gait. You're going too slow. Oops. I shake in excitement as I head up to the dark room. Latigan holds the door open for the two of us to enter. The inside glows a vibrant crimson red. Latigan's suit appears to light up in the red lights, as does my shirt. I've only actually been in the dark room once before. This is so cool. I clasp my hands together. What are we developing? You're not developing shit, Ingo. You're cleaning. We? This is an important job for just you. God, you are really fucking headstrong in this shit. I'm ready for it. What are you developing? Your lower back! As I click on the switch and the red lights to normal lights and properly illuminate the room. There's boxes over there. I need one at each station in the room, but they're too heavy for me. You can, of course. Legally, I can't make you do any of this. Do I just get extra credit? You get one of the back of the shift to keep hitting to my desk. Fine. Nice. Go on, Olivia. We should clear the way for him. There's actually is something in the box we'll need in a bit. The two move back to the entrance and I'm faced with the myriad of boxes I have to carry. Looks like there's about 10. They're medium sized and look like you can fit a table lamp in them. How heavy can they... Aha! Thud. Lift with your knees, Inko. This is gonna suck. I look at Olivia. She already has her phone out and pointed my way. Damn it. I shift my legs and try again. I actually managed to get this thing off the ground. This thing must weigh at least 70 pounds. What are these loaded with? Bricks? Something like that. Careful, they're fragile. Finally, I get the last box in its place. I pick up a chair and collapse in a heap. My muscles are on fire. Though, to be honest, I don't know if I could have done all that in the beginning of the year. Yeah, I guess I'm getting stronger. Latigan walks back into the dark room with a small black toolbox. Oh good, you're all done. Come on out, take a breather. That looked tough. I'd rather stay here. Olivia shows up in the doorway behind Olivia shows up in the doorway behind Latigan. Man, I breathed really fast on accident. Goddamn. I'm surprised you didn't use the cart. Oh my god. These people are so mean. What cart? Before you get started with me, Ingo, you didn't ask. I hate you. That's the spirit. Olivia stifles her laughter to a snickering snort fest. Your mood will improve when you see just what you've been carrying. Oh? He grabs a box cutter from the shelf and slices the top of one open. Peter pulls out what looks to be a large overhead lamp from the box. Oh, sweet. So that means they've been making your print for midterms? That sounds awesome. Oh man, I can't wait to... But before any of that, these need to be assembled. The rest of the parts are taken from the first box and set down meticulously. Olivia's gotten curious as she rolled up to the station and handing one of the funnier looking pieces. Oh, and handling one of the funny looking pieces. Anywho, here you two go. Wait, two? Yes, two. Don't think I didn't notice you watching Inko so much. The stammered denial from Olivia does nothing to wipe the cheeky grin from our teacher's face. But what about you, Mr. Latigan? I'll be right back. He makes his way to the door again. Get started without me. I need to go fetch a few things. Before either Olivia or I can speak up, he's left the room. Olivia already has the toolbox open on her lap. Right then. I grab it, folded up instructions, and lay it out. Seeing the dozen of bizarre devices fully assembled. Okay, so... Dunk. Step 1. Hand me the next piece. Oh, did I scare you? Yes, you scared me. These things are heavy. What if you dropped that on something? I didn't, though. But you could have. And I didn't. Olivia's tail reaches for some brackets, but I grabbed the limb before she can take them. Hold on. We gotta do things right, or the enlarger might not work right. She retracts her tail from the table. You're no fun. Just an oversized lamp. That's a gross oversimplification. You're a gross oversimplification. Latigan's gonna make you take that. It's gonna make use. Oh my god. Latigan's gonna make you use that one you break. Just means I can sketch more, right? I mean, you can't participate and learn about photography and learn about photography. Photography is your thing, so it doesn't really apply to me much, does it? Well, maybe that's the case for you, but photography is my thing. The whole reason I took this class, after all. Oh, sorry. It's nothing. Olivia politely rests her hand on her lap, her eyes lingering on the box of parts. Well, how does it work then? The print enlarger? She shakes her head. Photography. Like, why the giant lamp thing? It's all digital today, right? Huh. I think it's the first time someone's ever actually asked me about that. Sure, I've had lots of mid-shower rehearsals explaining my hobbies and their cultural significance to others, but none of that's coming to me right now. It's all about shot competition, and this machine is part of the production of it. Getting the right things in the right places at all the right times to invoke a certain feeling. Competition is a thing in painting too, you know. I'm ill prepared for Olivia's comeback. Yeah, but it's a lot easier to pick the composition you want. You don't have to worry about any factors other than yourself. With photography, you have to build the set to get a good photo, and that's the fun of it. But why would you limit yourself to like that? So why not just draw whatever you want? Or draw whatever you're taking instead of the photo instead. You could express all kinds of things you could never express with a photo. Olivia taps her claw on the imager, the metallic ping echoing to the small room. What sets this junk apart from the lines on a page? The technique and vision! She smirks at my petulant comment. Fine, I'll show her. I'll prove it to you that this takes skill. I have the lighting portion up and make sure that that it's at the right angle and fasten the light portion of the enlarger to it. I plug the machine in and flip the switch, happy that it works right and lights up the entire base. Olivia looks at me with confusion as I move to the entrance of the room and flick the light switch, bathing the room in the red light again. Going back to... God, this makes it even harder to fucking read. God damn it. Going back to our workspace, I pull the developed negatives from my backpack and slot the slide I want into the carrier. And ta-da. The negative carriers... Uh-oh. The negative carrier in place in the machine. A blurry gray blob is projected onto the base. What? Give me a minute. I hold the manual under the light under the light to the side of the blob, checking which knob is what, and slowly turn them. As the lens billows shifts, and the Rorschach test transforms, gaining more definition until it finally becomes the spitting image of the school's front entrance. I can even do this. I take out the negative and place it atop before sliding the carrier back in and increasing the strength of the light. The image displayed is now the entrance with half a dozen semi-transparent students in front of it. What'd you do? I overlapped another shot. The backgrounds are the same and doubled up, so I had to intensify the light, otherwise the entrance would be too dim. So, that would take me a few minutes to do tops. It'd look better too. She smirks. But I think she's feigning her apathy this time. Her tail gives her away. It's a lot more technical, I guess, but I only knew how to do this stuff from Mr. Latigan's lecture about negatives. What else can you do on this thing? I don't know, but what's that? Oh shit. I pull out the negative carrier and wince at how hot it is. Crap shit. Olivia's quick to rip the plug out of the socket. With my sleeve open on the carrier, I see I've managed to melt two negatives together. Aw, crap. Inko, come on! I was gonna use that. All that work. And I gotta mess up to prove something. Olivia's never let me live this down. The green Gator girl lays the sympathetic hand on my shoulder to my surprise. Hey, shit happens. I've ruined a lot of paintings in the past too, you know. She takes the reel back from the warm metal plate and holds them up in the red light, trying to see through them. And you've got more shots on this thing. But I like those shots. Then go retake them. It's not that easy. Like, it has to be the exact same time, weather, and lighting. The abrupt darkness coincides with a vague ambient sound of ventilation shattering to a halt. The blackness is all-encompassing. I can't even see Olivia. Well, I know it's right next to me. Inko. Her voice helps me confirm where she is, and we're still alive in the same fashion. But there's a shakiness in her tone, which sends a rattle down my spine. Our breathing... I just noticed the rain in the background. Our breathing is the... Sorry, I just thought I heard, like, footsteps. Our breathing is the only noise, as if it had been encapsulated in a void of nothingness. I'm still here. I know that. I plant my hand down to brace her shout, feeling the still warm metal of the enlarger base. But, I guess the skull lost power. I feel something cover my hand, and then squeeze, painfully. Ow, 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 sorry! Special lessons, but she doesn't let go of my fingers. No, it's fine. There's a subtle shake in the scaly limb of my hand, but when I brush my thumb across it, the limb eases. Hey, stop that. Stop what? Just that. Stop whatever you're doing with your hand. I shrug. And then want to slap my face when I realize... And then want to slap my face when I realize that she can't see that. Alright. Standing in the darkness in the dark room, in the darkness of the dark room, isn't getting us anywhere. We should find... Wham! Olivia, in go! Ah! My instincts kick in, I hop back and make space between us and the killer. Turn my back to them, making a defensive wall. I wrap my arms around Olivia's head. Oh my god. You nerd. Fucking nerd. 100% protected. Hey, it's just me, Latigan. Took me to find a flashlight with how broke this room is. I look at the shining white pterodactyl pointing the flashlight at his own face. Oh. Get off me, Oof. Look, I'm not paying you to get frisky in the closet. That's what this closet's for. We're not Mr. Lanigan holds up a pale hand, his grin widening, relaxed and just joking around. He leans against the doorway to get a better look into the dark room with his flashlight. Power's out for the whole block, and apparently our backup generator's decades old, and it's only keeping the AC on. Someone should get fired for that. Come on. We can wait it out in the studio. Let's go. We assembled half, I think, of one of those machines. We got so much work done. Olivia follows me out into the main classroom as we trail slowly in Mr. Lanigan's wake. The slow sounds of his gait set a nice contrast to the rain lashing out in the windows. Whoa, it's really coming down outside. Think it'll flood? It floods here. Sometimes. The ground floor classrooms usually used to have carpet, you know. Lanigan starts pulling out something from his desk, but it's too dark to see what. Ugh, don't remind me. That junk just sucked away half the year's funding. You ever try teaching people about watercolors without freaking watercolors? Was ridiculous. I remember. You were the most upset. Alright. He sets a tiny tea light down in front of his desk and begins lighting them. The tiny wick set alight with the tiniest of embers, providing a bare minimum illumination for us to see. Want those trigger fire alarms? We should be fine. They're too small by themselves. What are those for? Been saving them for a rainy day. We're gonna be stuck for a while. Why not make it a camp out? Camping. I like the sound of that. Wouldn't we get in trouble though? It'd be trespassing, right? It's either this, or trying to get home in the storm. As if to illustrate his point, the weather decided to chime in. Besides, schools are usually made with sheltering in mind. There's all kinds of procedures for this, like bringing everyone to the gym and breaking out some moldy cots. Olivia winces. Those haven't been replaced? Our budget has been in the red for years, Mrs. Halford. Part of why we're being scrutinized right now with the whole audit business. Anyways, we're the only ones left on the campus, so I'm not gonna go through all of that trouble. So just relax for now. I've already called the taxi for both of you. Taxi? I made the call as soon as the power went out. Just gonna be a while to get one ready and sent out. What do we do in the meantime? The teacher has a wicked grin. You're not done with that homework, right? Oh, I'm kidding. Time and the storm carry on, yet things are surprisingly calm. Olivia pretends to focus on her work while I pretend to help her. But soon enough, Mr. Lanigan starts sharing wild stories about previous semesters. You know, a few years back, somebody tried to take his hat right off his head. And let me tell you, I've never seen a shovel fly so fast. Sounds appropriately violent. Either way, Olivia slowly loosened the facade of productivity, and I joined her not long after. You know, I still owe you for ruining your coat last year. Oh, forget about it. I have dozens of them in my closet anyways. You too? The eerie ambience of the blackout is quickly overridden by our combined laughter. Eventually, we run out of things to say and just quiet and wait quietly in each other's company. Lanigan slumps down in his chair. Whew, long day today. He glances at the window, still being assaulted by sheets of rainwater outside. Normally, I'm home by now, resting. You two mind if I relax a little here? No, go ahead. Thanks. He stretches behind him, cracking his spine against the groove of his chair. Olivia, I have a meaning to say. Usually so quiet, reserved, isolated even. I've noticed you've been a bit more friendly recently. Huh? You think so? You've been in my class for all 4 years, of course I would. Maybe a bit old-fashioned, but it hurts to see a student hurt themselves like that. When you're in the adult world, you see that all the time. Once someone is in the rut, they tend to just stay there until their days blend together instead of lifting themselves up. Like they got all the time in the world. So I'm proud of you for making an effort, Olivia. Oh, Mr. Lanigan, I mean, Don't be flustered. Be proud, Olivia. You've managed to form a friendship. Of course. I appreciate you extending an olive branch too, Inko. To Inko. Me? It's no problem, Mr. Latigan. Come on. Our school hours are over. You can drop the mister. I mean, not something to be thanking me for, is it? Just a friend. That's great to hear, though. You can't always navigate this world alone. Sometimes to keep company. Oh my god. Someone to keep company can really help. He can. More than you can imagine. Latigan leans forward and places a hand on both of ours. He just barely makes contact with Olivia's wrist when she rinses and yanks it back. Shit. Olivia? You alright? Ow. I'm fine. It just hurt. I was fine before, though. You've been trying to stay up that wrist all day. Was it that bad? It's feeling better. It was feeling better. I even helped build those doohickeys. The print enlargers. Covers his head, his eyes with one hand. Of course. Great move. Student's been overworking herself when I give her extra physical work. What am I doing? It wasn't your fault. I didn't want you to worry. I had no idea how bad it was. He leans forward again, gently holding Olivia's wrist, inspecting it, and being careful not to cause any pain. You need to take care of yourself, Olivia. If something were to happen, I know you'd be completely beside yourself. I know. I know you're doing extra work, but how did it even get this bad? It was a lot of extra work. Doing a whole group's assignments on top of my own for the last 3 weeks, basically all my free time. It was great practice, but at least that's what I was telling myself. Olivia does her best to hide her wincing as the teacher tests her arm. I never would have made it to graduation. All because of that painting you switched. He shakes his head and lets go of Olivia. No, it goes further than that. That painting was all because of the pain you've been going through all these years. All because that first contest entry hanging in the gala. Your first venture into the outworld, and it went how it did. Olivia looks at her hand, stretching her fingers out, and slowly, carefully. My hand moves without thought, fingers taking her hand carefully to help in some way or the other. You and that painting. Our teacher palms his face and grins into it. It's a genuinely good piece, Olivia. I told you that so many times. She locks up, but manages a small nod. What a horrible train of events. And I've had to witness it all these years. Watching as it's taken your friends, your self-worth, that little smile you had when you first came into my class, and now it's ruining your health. He gently lets go and covers his own eyes again. And I really just sat here and watched it. I was just talking about how people act like they have more time than they have. Latigan, are you alright? I'm super. More than okay. In fact, I've made up my mind about something. You. Take her to the gala, please. There's something I want you two to see. No words. Just do it, please. I nod. What are you gonna show us? He stops at the door. Something you should have seen a long time ago. Oh boy, wonder what this is gonna be. My shoes slosh noisily through the flooded hallways as we slowly head back to the main building. Olivia herself... Oh my god, my throat's getting dry. Olivia herself had used her arms to tuck her legs into her seat, her head now resting on her knees. Latigan didn't seem to care, each one of his steps splashing water around and soaking his slacks. The drains on the floor were working overtime, keeping the water to a minimal level. An unsettling feeling washes over me as I enter the atrium, the interior of the school pitch black from the lack of lighting. At least we aren't dealing with the wet floors, but navigating the halls in the dark is a new difficulty. Olivia brought her phone, using the flashlight of its own to shine her way, but I'm still unnerved. The only sound I hear is the squelches of my shoes and awkwardly dripping from Olivia and I. And it was then I realized that Latigan had left us behind. Mr. Latigan? Her voice bounces through the halls of the school. Do you see where he went? Kinda. I think he went that way. I can just make out Olivia's hand pointing thanks to her phone. towards the school offices. I keep pushing Olivia, though, taking my time as I feel my shoes threaten to slip with each step I take. It's slow going. Between the eerie darkness and my slow steps, what should have taken us a minute has taken us almost 3 minutes to arrive at the gala. Well, we're here. The storm rages against the glass ceiling. What's normally the source of the hall's natural lighting is completely obscured by the typhoon. There's no sign of Latigan. I withdraw my phone and turn on its flashlight too, hoping to improve the situation. I can hear something else, aside from us, in the rain. Something that's getting closer. A tiny red light in the distance. A tiny red light in the distance, there with the sound. The tiny ember bounces and sways in rhythm with an odd tapping, until... Huh? I'm frozen for a second. The thought forces its way through me. He wouldn't ever hurt us. Latigan, what are you doing? Something gets kicked aside. It's Olivia's painting from the art contest a few weeks back. Smacks loudly against the glass casing of the display. Oh, wait, what happened? Something gets kicked aside. It's Olivia's painting from the art contest a few weeks back. Smacks loudly against the painting, the glass casing of the painting, the display case. These are the ones, yeah? What? I'm ignored. Olivia's staring right at Olivia. She's also struck fearful, but she nods. Latigan takes a deep breath and then faces the display. What the fuck? What are you gonna do with that? Hey, Latigan, like, this is a bit extreme, isn't it? Well... There's so many different art styles in this game. And this is my favorite right here. I like this style. This, like, painting-esque scribbly style. And you know what? That's where we're gonna leave it off. Well, that's that. I'm quickly gonna load this. Just so that I can save it on page 2, just in case anything happens to that first one. But we still have... Oh, there's autosaves too. Okay, cool. Okay, we still have these saves. Alright. That's that. 38 minutes. I hope you all enjoyed today's video. That ending is... mwah, superb. I don't know why my reading got even worse this time, for some reason, but that ending was amazing. But other than that, I hope you all enjoyed today's video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe, and leave a comment. Tell me what your favorite art style from the game has been so far. Like that first animator, the first animated sequence, and now this one, and etc, etc. I hope you have a good day. I've been Will, and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.